Welcome back. Proof of the giant that Charlie Kirk was, it was evident on college campuses. Look at this. Yesterday, students at Liberty University hugged one another and prayed. Students at the University of Alabama held a candlelight vigil. And students at Texas Tech held a moment of silence, while students at Ole Miss held up a sign asking for people to pray for the Kirk family. All of this is a testament to the mark Charlie left on their generation. And when Charlie founded Turning Point USA back in 2012, he was just 18. His goal was to make conservatism appealing to young voters.
What we have brought into the political space is that we have made conservatism not just cool again, not just attractive again, but it's appealing. People want to join it. They want to be part of it. President Trump did what was unthinkable 13 years ago. I mean, we've known each other for a while here. I mean, to think a decade ago that a Republican running for the presidency would be winning the youth vote is just an incomprehensible concept. And so we here at Turning Point USA, we're going to these college campuses. Our crowds are growing. Our support is increasing. And the data and the statistics bear that out as well.
Turning Point's mission reads, to guide citizens through development of knowledge, skills, values, and motivation so they can meaningfully engage in their communities to restore traditional American values like patriotism, respect for life, liberty, family, and fiscal responsibility. That mission turned into a movement. From a small startup to Turning Point USA, it now operates in more than 3,500 high school and college campuses. It's one of the most influential grassroots conservative movements in America, and it continues to grow. Charlie himself had over 5 million followers on X, and Turning Point's page had another 900,000. On TikTok, the Charlie Kirk Show had over 8 million followers. And his powerful reach among conservatives showed an incredible partisan swing over the last 3 years and helped President Trump back into the White House. Take a look at those movements among young men, plus 44 over a 2-year time frame. Joining me now is former campus coordinator at Turning Point USA, Will Witt. Will, thank you for being with us here today. I want to start with also telling you that I'm very sorry for your loss. I know you've been with Charlie for a long time. I know he's a friend. It's really incredible what you guys have built at Turning Point and the impact you've had on America.
Thank you so much for that, Will. I really appreciate it. I haven't worked at Turning Point for a while now, but I was a student actually when Turning Point was just getting started. People didn't really know about Charlie. They didn't really know about me. And I remember being in a little room with just a few students in Chicago kind of thinking, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to figure this out? And it was an honor to be there. And I remember just watching Charlie speak and the things that he would say. I mean, he was an inspiration to all of us. And it was because of Charlie, because of Turning Point USA, that I felt I had the gall to go and drop out of college and go and work in conservative politics, to go and do all this, go eventually work for PragerU. I worked for Turning Point for a little bit, and so much of that is owed to Charlie Kirk.
Will, what was it in those early days that might have attracted you, that continues to attract young people to the message, to Charlie as an individual, to Turning Point? What was it? It's been the mystery for a long time. How do you get young people to care? How do you get them involved and active? So what was the secret?
Well, why do young people hate politics and politicians? Because they think that they're all liars. And I remember from the moment that I met Charlie Kirk, it was, this guy's the real deal. Whether that's his politics, the way he treats people, his faith, he was steadfast in every single thing that he believed in. There was no second guessing. He was always genuine, kind, honest, and said exactly how he felt about everything. And that was something incredibly admirable. And so when he would show up on a college campus and speak, or go on an interview, or do a show, or any of these kind of things, I think there was a real ability to tell that this guy was telling the truth. And even if I disagree with him, I can tell this guy is really fired up, and I really am just inspired by the fact that he believes in these things so heavily. And I think that it motivated so many people when they saw, okay, Charlie's a normal guy. If he can do it, I can do it. I can go start a club on my campus. I can go and drop out of school and go and move across the country to do this. And it really gave people the vigor to fight for what we are seeing going wrong in this country right now.
And I know you've done that, Will. I know you've launched your own successful career and do great work. And we appreciate you sharing that time working with Charlie together with us here.
Thank you.